Okay, I am back with card number 5. Now, this is the card that I started with you on Scrap Away Day, and that I ran into some problems because I thought I was doing it wrong. Turns out I was not doing it wrong. So I'm just going to continue where I left off. And I showed you the Happy Birthday Song stamp set that I used to create these four images. Now, you don't have to use the double thickness if you don't want to. So I've got the big square on the outside, and then I've got the scallop square inside. You can just use the big square if you want. You probably don't want to use just the scallop. That's a bit small. Okay. So just to recap, we folded these back and forth to make sure that they were very loosey-goosey. And then we took our flap. Hang on a minute here. I've got another sample here. All right, so we had this with the hole at the bottom. Okay, and so when we folded it over, we have this little flap here. All right, and you're just going to fold it up from there so that you can see the hole right there. All right, and then you're just going to put some glue on this small skinny flap right here, and not out though, not out here. And then you're going to flip it up and just hold it there until it's bonded. All right. Okay, so that is how that works. And that's oh no, that isn't all we did. Sorry. All right, so once that is bonded, then you're just going to flip it over and you're going to fold these in like this. Okay, and so make sure they meet here so they're nice and even. And then you want to, just on the overlap right here, you want to put a little dot of glue. Okay, and just hold it there until it is bonded. Okay, and then that's that part done. Okay, so now we're back to where we were at Scrap Away. Okay, and I've already put down my first one. And so now I'm going to proceed from the bottom going upwards. Okay, and you can see. All right, so I've got my score line right there. Okay, I'm going to add my bead of glue just maybe a 1/16 of an inch away from the score line. Okay, and then I'm going to add my second last square, because remember we're going backwards here. Okay, and I'm going to pull this down, oops, so that it's folded where I'm gluing. Okay, and then I want to make sure it's not sticking out at all. I want it to be even with the fold, or yeah, the fold, the score line. Okay, so that one's done. Now we're going to pick up our next one. So it doesn't really matter. They say the same thing. Happy birthday to you. So I think I want the balloon on top this time. So I'm going to run another bead of liquid glue close to the score line. And then I'm going to add the second square, and I'm lining them up along the edge here, right here, and right here. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this down again. Oops. So that that is on the fold. And I want to make sure that it's nice and straight and nice and even with the fold. Okay, so we just have one left. Push this back up. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm just going to run a bead of glue across there. Sure, get my lid back on. You know how fast it gets gummed up. Okay, and then I'm going to place my first one, which is our last one. Are you confused yet? Okay, and so I'm just making sure I've got it nice and even on the sides with the ones I've already placed, and even on my fold or on the score line. Okay, all right, so back out. Now we have, okay, I just want to show you my original card. Okay, and I've used a little bit of white twine in the hole just as a pull tab. Okay, and this is how it will work. Okay. Okay, and I wanted just to point out to you also that these musical notes came in the Happy Birthday song stamp set, and I stamped them with intense black ink, as I did with all of the squares. And then I used the black onyx liquid pearls to fill in the notes. I just wanted them to stand out a little bit and be a little bit shiny. All right, and then I used my yellow marker to color in the word birthday, to smoosh behind happy birthday here, to do the crayons here, and then to do the balloon there. Okay. All right, so now to attach this to your card. Okay, I've got, and I didn't tell you what you had in the kit. Okay, but I think I told you that at Scrap Away. All right, so this is our card here. All right, now what you want to do is you want to make sure you attach your string or whatever it is you want to use here. So you've got your pull tab. Okay, and then you're going to use your glue right on this strip only. And then you're going to center it down here like this. Okay, and I think I'm just going to do that so that you can see it. Okay, I'm adding my glue in, not going out to the edge, so that when it smushes, okay, it has somewhere to go. Okay, and there's no really right or wrong place to put this. I just made it so I put it a little lower this time, but I just wanted to make sure that I left enough space for my sentiment at the bottom. Okay, and I'm just making sure this is completely bonded. All right, and so I'm just going to pop this up a little bit so you can see here's the tab that you're going to pull with the circle. All right, so you make sure you get something on there. It can be twine, it can be string, it can be ribbon, whatever you want. All right, and then I used for my sentiment, because I had picked this long, thin label. I needed a long, thin sentiment. So I picked the Sending Well Wishes Your Way from the Sending Well Wishes stamp set and thin cuts. Okay, I really liked it. It's got a very nice font. I thought it just was very pretty to finish it off. Okay, so I just attached this into the center. And then after I'd stamped my sentiment, I popped it up and then attached it here. And if you like, although you don't really need it, you can add a little bit of bling if you like. You could even add it up here if you wanted. Now, the other thing I wanted to say to you is that there is an alternate method to the flap. Okay, now it's not one that I really like myself, but I just want to be like showing you everything that you can possibly need to know. I want you to know it. Okay, so the way that you would do this is exactly the same to start. Okay, after you've done your scoring, you're folding on your score lines, you're going to flip this up like this. You're going to glue it right there. Okay, you're going to build your squares. Whoops, you're going to build your squares. Okay, you're going to attach your squares to your, I've got this upside down. Sorry, it's supposed to go this way. I knew there was something didn't look right. Okay, and so you're going to build your squares. You're going to add your squares exactly the same way. The only difference is that when you go to attach your card or your waterfall to your card base, you're not going to flip these under. You're going to leave them open. And then you're going to glue these tabs outwards. Okay, and then trim off the excess. Okay, it was not, the thin cut was not designed to do it this way, but somebody had discovered that if you did that, you could pull this through farther. Okay, and so if that's something you want to try, then you go right ahead and do that. Now, I think if I was going to do this, I would try and camouflage this strip somehow. I may add a strip of something else behind it, or on top of it, or something like that. All right, just so it doesn't look like the tabs are just hanging in there and not really doing anything except getting in the way. Anyways, that's just me. Okay, but you can judge for yourself. And I think that is it for card number 5. I hope I've explained that clearly enough to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can put your questions in the comments, or you can send me an email or a message, whatever works for you. Stay tuned for our final card, card number 6.